gotta move it to the max. You gotta move it in the slow. You gotta move it, move it, move it. Move it to the max.
The new Nexon EV Max moves you to the max.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Tata Crucible, the Campus Edition 2022. It's time for us to get started. Please welcome your host, Ms. Rashmi Furtado.
Hello ladies and gentlemen, a warm welcome to each and every one of you to Tata Crucible Campus Quiz 2022. This is Rashmi Furtado and here we are in a new journey for the new season of the much awaited quiz. In its digital avatar, this quiz has been hugely popular with over 5 million people watching this quiz on the internet. And we have had multiple rounds of quizzing to finally come down to 24 clusters. Each of these clusters consists of 2 wild cards and 1 cluster final. Kerala cluster, cluster number 4. We are about to begin our first wild card here today. Let me introduce all our finalists to you and then get into the rules of the game. First up, we have Jyotis from Jyoti Engineering College. There he is. Following Jyotis is Ankit from XIME, joining us from Kochi. Following Ankit is Avanindra from IIM Kozhikode.
Hi.
Up next is Rishika from IIM Kozhikode. Shubham from IIM Kozhikode. Unfortunately, Shubham couldn't join us because of some unforeseen circumstances, but we continue with this wild card, and completing this lineup for us here today is Saurav from QSAT. All right, welcome to all of you. Let me quickly go through the rules of the game and then get into the wild card. 10 questions is what I have for you, all of them on the buzzer. Single attempt per question only, multiple attempts are not allowed. +1 if you get it right and -1 if you get it wrong. The top 3 scorers among the 5 of you will make it through to the cluster final that's coming up. So the goal here is to qualify to that cluster final and not necessarily to win this wild card. Keep that in your mind. You have about 5 seconds of time to press the buzzer once I have asked a question. If you don't do so, then I will move on to the next question and the previous one would be invalid. Once you have pressed the buzzer, you have about 3 to 4 seconds of time to unmute yourself and give me the answer. If you take too long, you'll end up getting a negative because you're not allowed to press the buzzer and then take your own time to give me the answer. Nothing appears on your screen, so you have to listen to what I have to say carefully. So be very sure on when you want to press the buzzer, because once you press the buzzer, I stop reading the question because you are indicating to me that you already know the answer. All the fair play protocols are right there on your screen for you. You have been briefed on this already. We strictly follow all of them. And for all your audience, the buzzer indicator light will not be appearing during the wildcard. However, I'm here to let you know on who has pressed the buzzer. It's time for us to now start the first wildcard. Let's quickly get into the questions and figure out who the top 3 scorers are who will make it to that cluster final. May I request all of you to move your phones into the camera angle, please. All right. Jyotis, we cannot see your phone. Yeah, you're good, you're good. All right. Good luck to all of you. Remember, qualifying to the cluster final is what's important here. Question number 1, the buzzers are unlocked. Careful. Question number 1 of this wild card, here we go. Kisan Ketchup is a brand owned by which company? Saurav is on the buzzer. Go ahead, Saurav. Unmute yourself, Saurav.
HUL, ma'am. HUL Limited.
HUL giving Saurav a +1. He's absolutely right. He gets the first question right. Let's move on to question number 2. Moving on to question number 2. Open-ended is a term associated with which of these industries? Your option, life insurance or mutual funds. Open-ended, I said. All right, no one going on this one. 5 seconds of time is up. The answer I was looking for, ladies and gentlemen. Rishika, you're too late. You can give me an answer, but no points.
Life insurance.
You would have taken a negative. Good thing you were a little late buzzing. The answer I was looking for is mutual funds. So these are the mutual funds that are available for repurchase and subscription continuously. So they are called the open-ended mutual funds. Moving on to the next question. Question number 3. The Art of War is a book on strategy written by whom? Saurav is on the buzzer. Go ahead, Saurav.
Sun Tzu.
You need to repeat your answer, Saurav.
Sun Tzu.
Repeat again.
Sun Tzu. S-U-N, Sun Tzu. Is it audible, ma'am?
Yeah. Can you just calmly give me a louder retake, please?
Sun Tzu. Sun-S-U-N-T-Z-U. Sun Tzu.
All right, getting a +1 on that is Saurav again. Sun Tzu, the answer I was looking for. This book is completely based on military strategy and Chinese warfare, but very, very important in the world of business as well. Saurav getting another +1 on that. He's doing very well. Let's move on to question number 4. Question number 4, here we go. Glow and Lovely is a brand owned by which company? It's a new name. The name was changed. Jyotis, go ahead.
A company of HUL.
Getting a +1 on that is Jyotis. HUL, the answer I was looking for. This is basically Fair and Lovely, which was later rebranded as Glow and Lovely because it was suggested that the name is a little discriminatory and hence the brand name was changed to Glow and Lovely. Jyotis getting a +1 on that one, ladies and gentlemen. Time for us to move on to the next question. Question number 5. Leaders Eat Last is a book by whom? Leaders Eat Last. All right, I have Jyotis on the buzzer again. Go ahead.
Simon Sinek.
Simon Sinek giving Jyotis a +1. This is a book that speaks about adopting supportive mentality in business and work environments. So, Leaders Eat Last by Simon Sinek, giving him a +1. Ladies and gentlemen, moving on to question number 6. Here we go. Core competency is a management concept introduced by whom? Core competency. All right, I'll help you out. Your options. Oh, Rishika is on the buzzer. No options required. Yes, Rishika?
Porter. Michael Porter.
Oh, taking a negative on that is Rishika. Incidentally, my options were Michael Porter or C.K. Prahlad. C.K. Prahlad is the answer I was looking for. Rishika getting a negative on that. She can still negate that -1 and move into the positives. We have some more questions remaining. Moving on to question number 7. Here we go. Which of these men is not a co-founder of Twitter with Jack Dorsey? Your options, Parag Agarwal or Noah Glass. Saurav on the buzzer. Go ahead, Saurav.
Parag Agarwal.
+1 to you. Absolutely right. Parag Agarwal is actually the CEO of Twitter. For how long he may remain the CEO, we don't know as of now. The name is in the news a lot, so we shall see what happens. But that name gives him a +1. Moving on to question number 8. Here we go. Which of these is a product of the Himalaya Drug Company? Your options, Girnar or Live 52. Jyotis, go ahead.
Till now.
Taking a negative on that is Jyotis. The answer I was looking for is Live 52. All right, ladies and gentlemen, 2 more questions remaining. But before we get into that, let me quickly tell you where our contestants stand. As of now, Saurav is leading this quiz with 3 points. So even if he ends up taking negative in the next 2 questions, he would have still made it to the cluster final. But we have Jyotis on +1 since he just took a negative, and Rishika on -1. She has a little bit of work to do to move into the positives. As of now, we still have 2 open slots in the cluster final. Let's see what happens. The penultimate question, here we go. Made for each other is the line of which cigarette brand? Made for each other. Wow. No one going on this one. Time is up. Honestly, I'm happier you all don't know this one. Believe me. The answer I was looking for, ladies and gentlemen, is Will's filter. Will's filter is the answer I was looking for. It was believed that the filter that was added would add on to the taste or the flavor of the cigarette. That was the concept behind the filter. But that particular question not giving a negative or a positive to anyone. One last question of this wild card remaining. Question number 10. Here we go. A series of funny ads featuring Ranveer Singh and Alia Bhatt promoted which entity founded by Deep Kalra? Ankit is on the buzzer. Ankit, go ahead.
Yeah, Make My Trip.
Absolutely right. Make My Trip, giving Ankit a +1. Make My Trip was the answer I was looking for, ladies and gentlemen. With that, ladies and gentlemen, Saurav from QSAT has made it through to the cluster final, and joining him are Jyotis from Jyote Engineering College and Ankit from XIME Kochi. All of them have made it to the cluster final. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you have been binging on all the audience questions. I have one more for you here today. The question: the founder of Tirupati Raja started the famous sweet shops Guru Sweets and Srinivasa Sweets. This happened before he moved into the restaurant business. How do we know the restaurants founded by him? I'll repeat that for you. The founder, Tirupati Raja, started the famous sweet shops Guru Sweets and Srinivasa Sweets. And this happened before he moved into the restaurant business. How do we know the restaurant chain or the restaurants founded by him? Whichever platform you're watching this quiz on, go ahead and key in your answer in the chat box. If you're quick and correct, you stand to win prizes. Believe me, they're exciting prizes. Ladies and gentlemen, don't go anywhere. The second wild card of this cluster is coming up. It only starts to get more interesting from here. So I will see you in the second wild card.
अब डिस्काउंट किसे अच्छा नहीं लगता है जी? खाने के बाद एक एक्स्ट्रा पूरी। आहा, अरे दवाइयाँ बेटा जी, अब भी करता हूँ बाबूजी। इतनी बचत बेटा जी, और भरोसेमंद भी बाबूजी। It's 1 mg. हो गया जी।
हो गया जी?
नहीं जी, आप खिलाओ जी।
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Tata Crucible, the Campus Edition 2022. It's time for us to get started. Please welcome your host, Ms. Rashmi Furtado.
Hello ladies and gentlemen, a warm welcome to each and every one of you to Tata Crucible Campus Quiz 2022. In its digital avatar, this quiz has done wonderfully well for itself. with over 5 million people watching this quiz on the internet. With multiple rounds of quizzing, we are now down to the 24 clusters. Each of these clusters consists of 2 wildcards and 1 cluster final. Here with us today are the finalists of the second wildcard of the 4th cluster, which is the Kerala cluster. Let me quickly introduce all of them to you and then get into the rules of the game. Our first finalist for the day is Vignesh from IIM Kozhikode. Alright, that's Vignesh for you. Following Vignesh is Astha. Up next is Prasoon. Following Prasoon is Shweta. Then we have Sailesh. And completing our lineup here today is Love. Well, ladies and gentlemen, if you observe, all of them are from IIM Kozhikode. If you actually think about it, it's like having a quiz or Tata Crucible exclusively for IIM Kozhikode. Well, the teams there, or rather the quizzers there, are extremely good. Hence, the lineup that we have for all of you here today in this wild card. All right, let me get into the rules of the game. 10 questions is what I have for you. All of the 10 questions are on the buzzers. +1 if you get it right, -1 if you get it wrong. Single attempt per question only. Multiple attempts are not allowed. You have about 5 seconds of time to press the buzzer once I ask a question. If you do not do so, I will move on to the next question and the previous one would be invalid. Once you press the buzzer, you have about 3 to 4 seconds to unmute yourself and give me the answer. If you don't do so and you take your own time to give me an answer, you will end up getting a negative because you're not allowed to press the buzzer and then take your own time to give me the answer. Please remember, nothing is going to appear on your screen, so you have to listen to what I have to say. As I read the question, if you end up pressing the buzzer, I will stop reading the question because you are indicating to me that you already know the answer. Top 3 scorers from among the 6 of you will make it through to the cluster final. Remember that. The goal is to qualify to that cluster final. That's what's important. Rest of the fair play protocols have been already explained to you and are on your screen. And we follow all of these fair play protocols very, very strictly at this quiz. For my dear audience, the buzzer indicator light will not be appearing during the wildcard. However, I will let you know who has pressed the buzzer. Let's now get into the wildcard and figure out who the second 3 would be that will join into that cluster final with the first 3 whom we have already identified. Good luck to all our contestants here today. May I request all of you to move your phones or your buzzers into the camera angle, please. All right, all of you are good to go. First question of this wild card. Here we go. Which of these is a shampoo brand made by Dabur? Your options, Clinic or Vatika. Astha is on the buzzer. Go ahead, Astha.
It's Vatika.
Absolutely right. Getting a +1 is Astha on the first question of this wild card. Let's move on to question number 2. Which of these companies was acquired by Palmolive? Your options, Close Up or Colgate. Sailesh, go ahead.
It's Colgate.
Absolutely right. Getting a +1 on that is Sailesh. We usually have a mix of easy and difficult questions. Colgate Palmolive is very well known. I expected a quick buzz on that one. Let's move on to question number 3. Sheer comfort and long life is one of the taglines of which product? Sheer comfort and long life. Sailesh, go ahead.
Seat tires.
Oh, taking a negative is Sailesh. You're not wrong. Your drift is absolutely right. But the answer is MRF ZLX tires. Your drift was absolutely right. Quizzers usually do this a lot. I understand why he went ahead with that guess. But we have many more questions to go. He can very easily move into the positives again. Let's move on to question number 4. Vintage goes new age is the tagline of which product? All right, no one going on that one, ladies and gentlemen. The answer I was looking for is Lenskart Urban Retro Collection. Even if one of them had told me Lenskart, I would have been lenient and given them the point, but no one has gone on that one. Moving on to question number 5. Earn your respect is the punchline of which brand featuring Virat Kohli. And we put it that way. Earn your respect. Oh, no one going on this one either. All right, time is up. I thought this one was easy. The answer I was looking for is Manyavar. Manyavar is what he endorses with this line saying, earn your respect. All right, let's move on to question number 6. Here we go. Double layer, double confidence is the line of which brand? I'll give you options. I'll help you out. Manforce Contraceptives or Seat Grip Tires. Vignesh, go ahead.
Seat Grip Tires.
+1 to you. Absolutely right. Seat Grip Tires giving him a +1. Let's now move on to question number 7. Who among these appears in the MRF ZLX tire ads? Your options? Sailesh doesn't need options. Go ahead.
Virat Kohli.
+1 to you. Absolutely right. He gets a +1 on that and he quickly makes up for the negative that he had taken earlier. Sometimes we do these things and put familiar questions in one quiz just to see if the quizzers are able to catch that or not. And most often than not, they are not able to do it. But Sailesh here was able to do it. Good for him. Let's now move on to question number 8. Khud ko jaga ek thanda laga is a tagline from which cold drink ad? Khud ko jaga ek thanda laga. I can give you the options, Pepsi or Coca-Cola. Vignesh, go ahead.
It's Coca-Cola.
+1 to you. Absolutely right. Coca-Cola is the answer I was looking for. Pepsi is actually, that's what I like. So Coca-Cola gives him a +1. 2 more questions remaining in this wildcard, ladies and gentlemen. Let me quickly tell you where our contestants stand. As of now, we have Sailesh and Astha both on +1 and we have Vignesh on +2. 2 more questions remaining. I would still say the rest of them have a chance to qualify into that cluster final. Let's see what happens. The penultimate question. Ranveer Singh and Amitabh Bachchan feature in the same ad for which product? Sailesh, go ahead.
Kamla Pasad.
+1 to you. Absolutely right. Kamla Pasand giving Sailesh another +1 and he's now on +2. So even if he ends up getting a negative on the last question, he would have still made it to the cluster final. But we still have 1 more question remaining. Let's see what happens. The last question of this wildcard. Fast forward your career is part of the pitch of which EdTech brand linked to Ronnie Screwvala? All right, Prasoon on the buzzer, go ahead.
Vedantu.
Ooh, Vedantu giving him a negative. The answer I was looking for is Upgrad. Upgrad is the brand that Ronnie Screwvala is associated with. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for us to figure out who has made it to the cluster final. With 2 points, Sailesh and Vignesh, both of them from IIM Kozhikode, have made it through to the cluster final. And joining them is Astha, also from IIM Kozhikode, who is into the cluster final. Before we move any further, it's time for us to bench on an audience question. Your question, ladies and gentlemen, which airport positions itself as the world's solar-powered airport? Let me repeat that. Which airport positions itself as the world's solar-powered airport? Think India. That's your clue. Whichever platform you're watching this quiz on, go ahead and key in your answers in the chat box. If you're quick and correct, you will win a lot of exciting prizes.
Friends, put your hands together to welcome on stage Quizmaster Big Brain.
A big hello and a warm welcome to each and every one of you. You're with me, Big Brain, here today as we pick with Cluster 4, the final from the fascinating locations across Kerala. It's not just one city, so I said fascinating locations across Kerala. It's a state that has always produced some outstanding talent for us at Tata Crucible. No different this year, no different over the digital contests that we've had over the last couple of years. Speak of the digital version of Tata Crucible, it's been one of the biggest achievements perhaps during the pandemic for this country. We've had more than 5 million people watching Tata Crucible on the internet. You heard that number right. Well, it's 5 million and that's a staggering number. So we continue, of course, with the digital simply because not that you are not vaccinated or we are not, all of us at this age group are vaccinated. But then the examination schedules of different universities have gone haywire this year just to get everything back on track. So the Tatas recognized that and said, someone's going to be having an exam at any given point in time. So we might as well have them at the comfort of their homes. So I think that was a pragmatic call to continue with digital and, of course, to defer this by a bit before we could get you all to the shooting arenas. For the moment, we've got 6 wonderful contestants with us. A quick look at the rules before I introduce them to you. Cluster 4 from Kerala. And we've got 6 outstanding contestants. They're going to battle across 24 questions, all of them at a value of 75 with 5 seconds of answering time. They understand the fair play protocols and have committed to it. So if we are ready, we have the buzzers ready and our lineup to take a look at who's made it to the final after the grueling online rounds and, of course, the wildcards that you would have witnessed with young Rashmi Furtado. For now, a look at our 6 finalists. Qualifying as our first finalist here today, representing JEC Thrissur, we have with us Jyotish. Welcome to you, Jyotish. Neighbouring Jyotish as our second finalist from XIME Kochi, with us here today is Ankit. Welcome to you. Neighbouring Ankit, also from Kochi, here today representing QSAT, is Saurav. Welcome to you, Saurav. And the remaining 3 slots being taken by the IIM Kozhikode students. They're traditionally good at this quiz. They should be, given that it's a business quiz. Qualifying as the first among them here today, representing IIM Kozhikode, is Vignesh. Welcome to you. From Vignesh, we move across to the lone lady battling with these men here today from IIM Kozhikode. Welcome to you, Asta. And completing our lineup here today, also from IIM Kozhikode, is Shailesh. Welcome on board. Those then, ladies and gentlemen, are 6 finalists as we're going to start playing Tata Crucible Campus Quiz 2022, the Kerala final. We pick action on the first frontier, 75, the value of a right answer. 75 is what they lose if they get it wrong. The whole theme revolving around Tata Crucible this year is grit, guts and glory. And that's something that you need to prepare yourself with as you enter a modern workforce where you're going to require to be gritty. You're going to certainly require a lot of guts through life. And if you have the combination of the two, glory is not too far away. Time for us to pick action on the first frontier. Time to find your grit. Here it is. All hands on the buzzer, and if I could see your mobiles up there on the screen, that would be wonderful, absolutely fine. Starting with the first question, all 24 will appear on your screen. I may have some additional information on questions that appear on your screen, but if you choose to buzz, I'll keep quiet because you're indicating you know the answer. So if you're ready, let's get started with the first question on your screens now. Specifically from the world of Tatas, he is a prolific writer, thinker, and someone who's documented Tata business history in an impeccable manner. Who is this great writer who really has chronicled the history of the Tatas in one era beautifully. If you've ever read books on the Tatas, you would know him. 5 seconds running away quickly. No one on the answer on that. The answer is the great, or the one and only, R.M. Lala or Rusi Lala. It certainly was a profound moment when he made it to a Tata Crucible to be with us, or perhaps to bless us, if that's the right way to put it. Moving on to our next question. Hands on the buzzer from the world of health and wellness. On your screen, here it is. This was a punishment in the olden days for people who were in prisons. They were basically sent to till around with rice or with paddy or grains. And a modern health and wellness equipment gets its name from this. What am I talking about? Is someone going for it? They were basically at prisons where they were given grains to grind. Someone's gone for it. Saurav it is. Yes, Saurav.
Treadmills.
A treadmill. You walked on a circular thing and you were treading on mills. Beautiful answer. He'll get himself a 100. No, he'll get himself a 75 this time. Well, Crucible usually runs on the 100 category. This year we're celebrating 75 years of Indian independence. So 75 to you on that. Health and wellness is so important in the modern world. I think everyone's realizing that, especially in a post-pandemic environment. And it's truly wonderful. We also have Tata 1mg as one of our supporters here this year. And they are advocates of health, hygiene and wellness. And I think it's important for each of us to have that agenda in our lives. As we move on to our next question, hands on the buzzer, Saurav off to an early start. Third question on screen, overall answer is what matters. Here it comes. All of this will lead you to a very important international organization. Saurav again on the buzzer from QSAT. He's on fire. Yes.
Amnesty International.
Is absolutely right. He'll get to 150. He's playing well, is the young lad from Kochi. Moving on to the next question. Hands on the buzzer. Question on your screen. Here it is. The big question is a very good clue to this website. Perhaps they should have been quizzers to create a site like this. Questioning helps them make money like me. Which famous website is this? Based on the idea of Adam and Charlie that this site has grown. Saurav's taking a shot. Yes, Saurav? Quora is absolutely right. From QSAT Kochi, he's running off to a big lead. He's got 3 right in the first frontier. Someone's got to stop him. Moving on to our next question here in the Kerala final of Tata Crucible for campuses. On your screen, here it is. This is a virtual assistant. Saurav is really fast on the buzzer. Yes, Saurav?
Samsung.
He seems super prepared. I think someone's got to play out of their skin to stop him. He's got another 75. He's racing off in this quiz as if Chris Gale was invited to bat at a Tata Crucible. Well, he's gone bonkers in the first round. He's on 300. No one's done that yet. As we go to the final question, first frontier on your screen, here it is. It's an absolutely famous US chain which introduced the Biggie. The Biggie, Sailesh is giving it a shot. Yeah, Sailesh?
It's Wendy's.
Beautiful answer. Oh, very high quality answer from him. Wendy's is absolutely right. In many ways, Wendy's is believed to be the pathfinder for many of these other people who followed and built their brands. Super quizzing early days here today from the Kerala final. We'll tell you who's binging here today at the campus edition of Tata Crucible. But all that on the other side of this very quick break. Back in just a moment. Stay with us.
एक सजेशन दू जी.
क्या जी?
अपने टाटा प्ले के साथ बिंज ऐप ले लो जी.
क्यों जी?
आपके फेवरेट ओटीटी एप्स एक ऐप पे जी. मतलब नो अलग अलग पेमेंट, सिर्फ 1 सब्सक्रिप्शन जी. और 12 एप्स के सारे कंटेंट इजी सर्च पे, मतलब नो ढूंढना, ओनली देखना जी.
मतलब टाइम ही टाइम जी.
थोड़ा हमारे लिए भी निकाल लेना जी.
अब टाटा प्ले के साथ लीजिए बिंज ऐप।
So, ladies and gentlemen, early days here today, but one young man, Saurav from Kochi, really blazing off to a lead. Before I come back and show you how far he has reached, let me begin with an audience question for all of you. Here's the first one for you. It's a word that originally meant someone who buys and sells at the gross price. It was used in the Anglo-French language, but has today become a common term, though it's not necessary that he anymore or she anymore sells at the gross price. What's the word that I'm looking for? Key in your answers into that text box wherever you're watching this quiz. If you're quick and correct, you stand to win a prize. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. You're with me, Pig Brain, here today watching Tata Crucible for Campuses 2022. With us here today are outstanding qualifiers from across Kerala as we take a look at who's on the binge in this edition. Saurav from QSAT Kerala or Kochi is off to a flyer. He's on 300. Sometimes that can be a winning score in a Tata Crucible, and he's amassed that in just one round. On 75 is Sailesh from IIM Kozhikode. I'm sure the rest will realize the speed on the buzzer is crucial to contain Saurav. Moving on to the second frontier of our battle here today, it's time for our contestants to rely on their guts. Here it comes. Starting with the first one, 75 the value if you get it right, so play the game carefully. 75 is what you lose, so you got to be careful equally. On the first one, on your screen, here it is. People, places, love, moments, Airbnb. This is the formula that was created by them for a particular requirement. What was it? Jyotish has gone for it. Yes, Jyotish.
To start a campaign as to allow people to get into their own homes and such.
A little more than that.
Like as to create a perspective of having their own home instead of hotel rooms or something like that.
Oh, okay. Have your own home, have your own space. Give it to Jyotish. He's got the drift right. They basically were trying to define what a homely feeling means. They said it's a combination of people, places, love, Airbnb, and moments. And they were actually advocating people to have their own space or own home, as he put it. Give it to you. It's still the right drift of why they did something like that. So absolutely well worked out in terms of the context. 75 to Jyotish. As we move to the next one on your screens now. Jal Aadhar is an integrated watershed program. It's a very important CSR initiative of a Tata company which otherwise is counting money or managing money. It's very, very important that CSR today looks beyond areas of just livelihoods to looking at areas like energy, water. Which company took this path, saying our CSR need not be our area of work? Vignesh.
Is it Tata Capital?
Beautifully played. Beautifully played. Tata Capital, otherwise in the business of money management and so on, said your CSRs don't have to necessarily be what you do. It's what is required to be done. I think that was a fantastic positioning. And the world, of course, is moving towards water, energy efficiency, and so on. And of course, we have with us Tata Motors and Nexon, which is a real flag bearer of that movement in India. Electric vehicles being the future, and of course, Tata Nexon leading the way on that. For the moment, we move on to the next one. Hands on the buzzer. He gets a 75. So people are beginning to get onto that dashboard. On screen, here's the next one. Your answer is an individual. Here we go. A famous cricketer, 2 famous elections, channels on your screen. From a cricketer to your answer. It's not a tough one. It's general knowledge technically. 2 books on your screen. All right, no one getting that right. The other drift there could have been the addition of NDTV, but we kept that out thinking that could become too simple. No one's on the buzzer. The answer that I was looking for, Rajdeep Sardesai. Well, that is Mr. Sardesai, his father, who was a cricketer, Dilip Sardesai, great cricketer. And all of these, of course, will take you to the great journalist. As we move to the next one, hands on the buzzer, question on your screen now. An extremely popular, Saurav's gone for it.
This is Ashok Leyland Group. Ashok Leyland.
Can you explain?
It is owned by Hindujas and they merged with British Leyland and they have the lorry called Dost.
Beautifully played. He knows everything. The only thing he did not know is Dhoni endorses them. Well, that's fine. He left that rather from his explanation. But absolutely correct. He's really playing well. He's on 375, I think, on my mental math from the previous scorecard where he had reached the third 300. On to the next one on your screens now. What in India connects all these products? And these are just a few examples. There are many from Kerala who will add to this list actually. There are different types of products which have a common reason in India given their names. Their names lead them to a commonality. Someone's trying. Jyotish it is. Yes, Jyotish.
As in, these are specific to the locations as to what they produce. Their names specify the locations which have the IP on the products that they make. For example, Mysore Pak or Bikaner Bhujia relates to Bikaner.
So it all indicates to the geography from which they come.
Right.
The easy one there could possibly have been Darjeeling tea, which is a classic example. Superbly answered. Well played. From Goa Feni to Nasik wine to Mysore Pak to Bikaner Bhujia. All of these are geographic indicators in India. 75 to Jyotish. Well played. On to the next one on your screens. Here it is. Which famous brand would you connect to the name Venue? They could not easily get a trademark on that and they had to really work for it. Ankit has gone for it. Yes, Ankit? Sorry? Your audio is not coming through, Ankit. I'm able to hear you, but we need a louder one.
Hyundai.
Is absolutely correct. Hyundai is absolutely right. He gets a 75 with that answer. He also moves on to the dashboard. Everyone seems to be now scoring. Seems to be an interesting final that we're going to have just about halfway. So there's a lot that can happen in this final. As we go on to the next question on your screens now. Known for their green initiatives, this company is headed by a person named C.K. Venkatraman. He's a managing director of an extremely important company from the Tata Group. Now, really charming the youth with its products. Someone's gone for it. Vignesh it is.
Is it Titan?
Well played. Absolutely well played. That'll take him to 150, I guess. Vignesh is beginning to play well. Jyotish has done well. And Saurav is on a good lead. So I think he's waiting and watching. Doesn't want to take negatives. As we go to the next one on screen, here it comes. The traditional red is something they've never given up on. Their mobile business always comes up with special campaigns around Valentine's Day. They this time called it Happy Breakup Day. Sailesh.
Is it Zomato?
Oh, I said mobile business. I think you missed hearing that. Minus 75 to you on that. The answer, Virgin Mobiles. Well, They said switch networks, don't switch relationships. And it became a huge viral campaign from them, but they've always been creative around Valentine's Day. On to the next one on your screen. Shailesh losing the 75 that he had, but he can regain that quickly. Here's the next one. This is a famous award started in 1990 by a publication after which it's named, covers the music business and music popularity charts, hence the name. Someone's going for it. Asta it is. Yes, Asta.
Is it Billboard?
Well played. Very simple, straightforward. Billboard it is. Where are you on the billboard is a common question for music albums. She's got that absolutely right. As we go to the next one on screen now. It's a pet-friendly automobile. There are features inside the automobile that are pet-friendly. The name of the brand means unite in Japanese. It also refers, and someone's gone for it. Saurav it is. Yes, Saurav.
Subaru.
Mic up.
Subaru. S-U-B-A-R-U.
Subaru is absolutely right. He'll get himself another 75. Just when people were trying to close in on him, he's taken another shot and got it right. So he's really playing well. As we go to the next question, the penultimate one on your screens in this round, here it comes. Life's good is a positioning. Vignesh has gone very quickly. Yeah, Vignesh.
By LG.
Is that your summer internship?
No.
The speed at which you answered, it looks like you were interning with them. That was a good one. Really, I mean, super fast. Absolutely right, 75, Vignesh. Well played. Really fast. I doubt an LG employee will react at that speed. I mean, you're really fast. All right, here's the last one in this round on your screens now. He is a rage in this world today. The whole idea was co-founded by Alex, along with tennis star Serena Williams, who is an inspiration. Steve and Aaron are all people who are behind this venture where the mascot is an alien. On the internet, Saurav's gone for it.
Reddit.
Is correct. He's got that absolutely right. He's got Reddit in his kitty. The moment I think I said alien as its mascot, Saurav knew that and got another 75. Saurav's moving from strength to strength. Someone's got to challenge him and challenge him hard. Vignesh seems to be the one who's moving closer. I think Vignesh has crossed 200, but I'll tell you where exactly they are on the other side of this break. Back in just a moment. You stay right there. Two frontiers done. This quiz really seems to be becoming a tight one. And I tell you what, from here, it could well be the first couple of questions. If Saurav holds on to where he is, then it's for Vignesh who's going to face the others who are going to try and chase him down for the runner-up position. But for the moment, I've got a couple of audience questions for you. You know what to do. Just key into those boxes. And if you get it right and you're quick, you could win prizes from the Tatas. Here's my question to you. It's a specific technique that was created by a man called Donald Freeland. It was developed by the Western or the Great Western Garment Company in the early 1980s and introduced into the denim industry or the jeans business. It essentially involved a style or type of washing the jeans. What am I talking about? As you key in the answers, let me go into the final question for you. Simple, straightforward one as we celebrate 75 years of Indian independence. A lot of Indians have made it as global CEOs. Here's one question to celebrate that moment. Arvind Krishna is the CEO of which tech giant? Key in your answers into those boxes and you could win some fancy prizes from the world of Tatas. Let's get back to our final now. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. You're with me, Big Brain, watching a fabulous final unfolding at Kerala, Tata Crucible Campus Edition 2022, as we are going to move into the final frontier. But before we do that, let's take a look at who's binging today on the Crucible quotient. With 525, Saurav from QSAT Kochi is looking solid. He's really not put one foot wrong and is playing remarkably well. Vignesh is chasing him down question by question, but needs to put in a couple together somewhere to really get close to Saurav. Otherwise, that lead of 300 can be a daunting one. Jyotish started well, needs a couple more on the buzzer, so do the others. After the first couple of questions, this quiz might just become a battle for the second place. It's eminently possible from the way that scorecard looks. If Saurav scores one more or something like that, then he might just be sitting pretty and the others may be then chasing Vignesh down. All scenarios possible as we move to the final frontier. Time to go for glory. Here it comes. Six questions as we celebrate 75 years of Indian independence at Tata Crucible. Well, Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav is something all of us have been speaking about, hearing about. But here at Tata Crucible, we salute India from a business perspective. India is not just about its diversity, its people, its politics, its leaders. It's also about the way the economy was shaped, the business leaders, the people who've shaped the economy and the homes of this country with business solutions. In our own way, we pay a tribute and a salute to the brands, the products, the great CEOs, the founders, the entrepreneurs, all of them who've shaped an India within that 75 years. Ladies and gentlemen, 75 will continue to remain the value, but all your answers will be confined to the geography of India. If you are ready, 6 final questions to determine who will go into the nation's top 24 as a zonal finalist. Starting with the first question. Hands on the buzzer. Question on your screen now. Skill it or kill it. Up your game is a famous book written by a serial entrepreneur who's now very famous for an educational initiative of his. Who are we talking about? Jyotish has gone for it. Yes, Jyotish.
Ronnie Screwwala.
Absolutely right. Ronnie Screwwala is absolutely right. He's got that and got a 75 at a crucial moment. I think that will put him on par with Vignesh. So that's going to be an interesting battle. Saurav's not going to be only watching the questions. I think Saurav's going to be watching who's scoring. So, he's got a lead. He's got 5 questions to go. So he's got arithmetic going on in his head. He's on 525. That's a huge score. Here's the next one. On your screens now. This company has always been integrally part of serving India. Serve Safe Food is a famous campaign that they came up with for street food in Maharashtra. It's a Swiss brand with huge presence in India. In fact, very large presence and market share in Kerala. Vignesh, Swiss brand.
It's Nestle.
Superb. He took his time, gave it a thought. Vignesh is beginning to give this game a challenge. We've got 4 questions to go. He needs to get 3 out of that right. He's got a lot of pressure on him. Saurav's smiling. He says, well, that's not going to be easy, but well, let's see how life goes. He's on 300. He's chasing 525. Question number 3 in this round on your screen now. A young lad named Ritesh created this revolution. Sailesh has gone for it. Yes, Sailesh.
Oyo.
Lovely. Oh, quick and fast. He doesn't want to give up. He wants to catch up with Vignesh, perhaps for the second spot. Sailesh moves to 150. Or does he move to 75? 75. Okay. Sailesh gets a 75. I thought he was on 75. So Sailesh has got that one right. Everyone's positive on this scorecard, and that's truly amazing. 3 questions remaining as we go to the next one on your screens now. Kerala is Open, an initiative by a famous luggage brand. Which brand has always marketed itself alongside Kerala in India for the last many years to sell its luggage brands? In fact, their campaigns outside India feature photographs from Kerala. It's a famous luggage brand. Jesse, the founder, on your screen. Someone's going for it. Jyotish it is. Yeah, Jyotish.
I guess it's Samsonite. Samsonite?
He wants a 75. He's got a 75. Oh, Jyotish taking that lead. He's also got to 300. Undoubtedly, this is now becoming a battle for the second place. Saurav seems quite clear because, from 300, he can be in trouble if they get 2 right. No, they won't. 375, 450. No, he's safe. So Saurav looks safe to go through, and it's going to be a battle between Vignesh and Jyotish. There's big prize money for the second place, so let's see what happens. Trishur versus Kozhikode. Penultimate question on your screen now. This is a foundation by a famous IT giant from India. They've done a lot of work in the corporate social responsibility sector. Asta's gone for it. Yes, Asta.
I'd like to go with Infosys.
Perfectly right. She's got that perfectly right. She moves to 150. Everyone's doing superbly well on this dashboard. I told you Kerala is a very good state for quizzing and knowledge. Final question will determine whether it's Jyotish or Vignesh to the second spot. I guess the others will let them play it. Let's see what happens. On your screens now. This gentleman from the world of Tatas played a pivotal role not only in creating a company called Tomco, which later, of course, was known as Tata Oil Mills Limited, and he also played a critical role in the promotion of Indian hockey. A great entrepreneur. All I want you to tell me is who is this? Someone is trying. Vignesh it is. Yes, Vignesh.
Is it Naval Tata?
Naval Tata. Well, the hockey part, I think, was a giveaway. That will put Vignesh in the runner-up position. Well played. Oh, he managed that on the last one. He got that right. And that takes him, I think, to 375, if my mental math is right. We'll take a look on who's finally got all the binge on their side, apart from Saurav. Here it is. Oh, there you are. What a brilliant scorecard. The sum total of the 6 contestants, I think, is going to be a national record. I really don't think anyone else so far, and I'm being very honest, you get cities where you get 2 or 3 good quizzers. You know, you don't get 6. It's the first, though I'm still in cluster number 4, it's the first time we've got everybody in a positive and competitive. The total of all of them is amazing. That explains Kerala's depth of knowledge. However, the afternoon certainly belongs to Saurav from QSAT Kochi as he emerges champion. He's been binging and he's reached 525 with 375 on that last ball finish. Vignesh from IIM Kozhikode will finish runner-up. Jyotish played really well, but I think he only knows too well he should have buzzed more often. That's where he kept quiet or quiet too often. Well, ladies and gentlemen, time for us to move on and welcome our guest of honor, who has been absolute support and someone who's always been by us, whether it is school quizzing, college quizzing, or corporate quizzing in Kerala. In fact, it is thanks to him that Kerala, at a point in time when we were on ground shows, had 3 different locations, Trivandrum, Kochi, and Kozhikode, where we used to do the quiz, simply because of the quality of institutes and the quality of quizzing. He is a doyen of the IT industry with more than 3 decades of experience. I personally love his sense of humor and miss the time that I used to spend with him when I used to travel to Kerala, but I do hope that's going to resume very, very soon. But for the moment, ladies and gentlemen, to all of you watching this telecast, please welcome our guest of honor, Vice President and Delivery Center Head of TCS Kochi and TCS Kerala at large. They have a large center now in Trivandrum as well, Mr. Dinesh Thampi. Thank you so much, Mr.
Good evening.
Good evening, sir. Thank you so much for joining us, and wonderful to have you yet again when we request your time. You're always available to us. So let me start with you. Tough days seem to be over, but to recover from those tough days is going to require some amount of effort. And these are youngsters. So from what to do during a crisis, as a leader, what would be your advice on what to do after a crisis? That's leadership too.
Yeah, thanks. It has been a long time. I think we have met. So as you rightly pointed out, hopefully we will be able to meet soon. And I think congratulations to all the participants and to the winners. And it is a good question, Giri. From the overall standpoint, if you look at it, like I'm not sure whether we will get to a situation, what I call is a before COVID era, like BC. I don't think we will be able to get to that scenario. But if I may say that during COVID scenario, the DC scenario, we have made a lot of adjustments and readjustments. And especially, I think with business plus technology embedded in this particular panelist or the contestants, one of the key things is like how fast things are moving, especially nowadays. It's business driving and technology very well enabling, and this is a classic example. Tata Crucible online, and when you mentioned that 5 million viewers, that was an amazing number. That is like really remarkable. So from that standpoint, it's how you adjust yourself and readjust and make changes, and the pace matters, and the time in which that speed can be achieved, that is the real key as to move forward. So get to know as to where the things are moving, whether it's like area of your interest, hobby, or the point you mentioned about health, wellness, whichever may be the area, the speed is the essence of going forward. So that's what my view from whatever like the experience I had during this COVID or the pandemic scenario.
So well said. I think speed is of essence at Tata Crucible too. So they certainly get prepared for the future, playing these games or simulations that actually prepare them for the future. Well, let's give our prizes away first before I come back for another word from Mr. Thampi. Finishing runner-up here today from IIM Kozhikode. Congratulations to Vignesh. He wins himself 18,000 here today, and that's the annual seed fund for the party at IIM Kozhikode, and he'll contribute to it this time around. They traditionally win a lot of money. They traditionally win a lot of money at Tata Crucible. They're expected to do that. But ladies and gentlemen, one young man thoroughly prepared, absolutely calm, played his game brilliantly. The deserved champion from Kerala, from QSAT Kochi, Saurabh. 35,000 to him as he becomes the champion and moves into the nation's top 24. I don't normally let myself into, astrological kind of statements. But, honestly, the way you've played the game, Saurabh, if you play it the same way, I will not be surprised at all if you move from the top 24 to the top 6 of the country. Really calm, collective, extremely well played. Congratulations to you. And back to Mr. Thampi. Sir, as we progress forward from here, now, you're right, speed is of essence. These are youngsters who are going to be entering a different mindset of companies. I think, like you said, the BC graduates are going to be different from the maybe AC graduates, which is after COVID. What's your word for them? Is there going to be pressure of speed, expectation? What are these youngsters who are going to enter the corporate world going to face from leaders like you?
Yeah, I think, as you rightly pointed out, I'm not very sure whether AC will be a true AC. I think a little bit of COVID will be always there. That's what I feel. Good. But the thing is like, along with the speed, I'm not sure whether like nowadays, if you look at the younger generation, they have their own aspirations to go into their own ways, whether it's a startup, their idea. So why should I work for somebody? Why can't I be a creator of employment. So that is like the thinking the younger generation is definitely having. So one of the things is like their ideas, that innovative and the creative mind also definitely has to go hand in hand as to how they will come out with an ideas. And along with that, nowadays if you look at the startups, many of them are getting to a point very well. They will have an amazing idea and they will convert it into a product, but how to position that in the market plus the financing or the budgeting aspect is where the real innovation, and definitely they have to do a lot of research in that. That will definitely help. It doesn't matter whether they go in for their own as an entrepreneur or even for any organization where they are going to work. That is one thing everybody is looking for the future.
Truly appreciate your time, ladies and gentlemen. A very senior professional from the world of Tatas, Mr. Dinesh Thampi. Thank you for joining us, sir.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks so much. Congratulations once again to all the winners and the participants.
Thank you, sir. So, ladies and gentlemen, there you were at a riveting final from Kerala, producing its own version where everyone scored, and the sum total of all the contestants, I think, is going to be something challenging for any other city to break as a record. But nonetheless, it's also one final where I've seen all the finalists happy and smiling, which is good for a quiz environment. On that note, ladies and gentlemen, as Saurav moves into the top 24, from me, Pig Brain, from my young colleague Rashmi Furtado, thank you for tuning in. We will be back with the next cluster. Till then, take care. Goodbye.